Hello, y'all, and welcome back to the Effortless Expansion Podcast. I am so excited for today's episode. My friend, and I do want to say my friend, Chaz is going to join us today. I'm going to let her introduce herself in just a minute, but Chaz and I are in a mastermind together, and she is the queen of marketing. And I'm so excited for you to hear all of the goodness that she has to give to us today. It's going to be so good. I have so enjoyed. Chaz and I have been in a mastermind 2.5 months, and just the wealth of knowledge that she has in marketing. You're going to want to make sure you tune in. And as always, we're going to keep this conversation short so you can listen and tune in while you're in the car or while you're folding the laundry or cooking dinner at night. And then I'm going to, of course, at the end, direct you where you can find Chaz, and you're going to want to make sure that you follow her for all of her goodness and all of her tips. Whether you're a business owner, whether you're a corporate woman, whatever it is, Chaz is the marketing queen, and you're going to want to be in her energy. So without further ado, Chaz, please introduce yourself to everybody here.
Oh, thank you so much. This is like so exciting. Sometimes when you just get introduced, it's like, oh, thank you for boosting me up and making me feel like I am the marketing queen because I am, because I've been in it for 400 years. And so that's who I am. Like, marketing isn't who I am. My name is Chas. I live in cold Calgary, Canada. But I have been in marketing since 2002. I graduated with a marketing degree in 2002, and I've been in business and marketing since then. And I love it. And it's like just a natural expression of who I am. But it's not who I am. Like, I'm not just a marketing person. Like, I'm a mom. I got 2 teenage kids, and I'm a great wife, and I like dog sit dogs because then I don't have to have my own. And so I'm a multi-passionate person, and I can talk very fast. And so if you listen to this on 1.5, it's going to take you like 10 seconds to get like mega juicy details.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, Chad. So tell us, you told us you've been in marketing. I believe you used the word 600 years, which I know it hasn't been 600 years, but tell us where do you feel like where was your first exposure to marketing?
Okay, so yeah, so I grew up in a small town in the prairie, and my aunt and my grandma ran the local restaurant. And so my mom worked there when I was like just basically born, but then I started working there when I was 12. And so my aunt was so great and like helping me understand not just how to be a server and how to like to give great customer service, but also how to like invoice people, how to send out like monthly, like we didn't have like, I don't even think credit cards were much of a thing back then, let alone debit was definitely not. So we would just like write out the paper things and send them out to people at the end of the anyways. So she taught me all the business stuff, and that was fantastic. And then I always knew that I was meant to be in a place of leadership in some sort of organization, in some sort of company or whatever. And so I went down a spiritual Christian path and followed that. And I went to Bible school and got a degree in that. But then I was like, lots of religious trauma around that we don't need to get into for this episode. But I was like, I'm going into marketing because I love people, and I wanted to get into sports marketing because I'd always been in sports, and I'd always been coaching like sports since I was 12 too. And I was like, I want to be into sports marketing. And so I went and got my degree in marketing. And then I started working at like sporting events, and I'm like, hell no, I do not want to do this. And that was at that time that I met my husband, and we're big football fans. And I'm like, it's way more fun sitting at a tailgate and having some beers than actually working the game. So I'm like, we need to pivot this marketing idea. And so, but in the meantime, like, I'm a big believer. I love building relationships with people. I'm really good at building relationships with people. And I love having a sense of community. And I really love, like, my big why is watching women step into their power and their authority and like do what lights them up. And so I started a gym. And so in 2009, I had broken my leg working at another gym and was burnt out there. I was a personal trainer and teaching lots of fitness classes, and broke my leg as like, because I didn't listen to the universe of like, hey girl, you're burning out. You need to take a break. And I was like, oh no, I can just push through this. And so yeah, I broke my leg and burnt out. And in that, then I was like, I'm creating my gym the way I want it to be. I want to people to not be on their cell phones during workouts. I want them to get a good, fast workout and to be freaking strong and sweaty when they leave. And and so I started my gym, and that was right at the time online marketing was really starting to like pick up speed. And so I got a coach like right away. Didn't even know that coaching really even existed before that, but I hired a business coach who was in the fitness industry, and we worked on like, oh, a marketing strategy for the year. Like, what am I going to do in February versus what am I going to do in October? I was just like mind blowing. And it was just mind blowing that like people wouldn't just walk into my gym. Like, what? And so then I learned so much about marketing strategies of like having a funnel and getting people to that they got to know who I am, and then they got to like me and trust me. And so I built this system. Basically, I would like give out free weeks. I would go on to Kijiji, send out recipes, people, and gather people's email addresses, and then invite them in for a free week. They would love it. They would like come to my classes. We'd have like a little sit down, and then sell them into either a group membership or personal training. And I loved this process. Like it like the Capricorn side of me likes to have things organized and planned. And so I really loved having a structure of like, the only thing I need to do is get like as many email addresses as possible and get people into free weeks. After that, I know they're sold, you know? And so in the meantime, I built a really amazing community at my gym. And again, didn't listen to the universe, burnt out, and sold it in 2013. And then I went back to school to get a master's in international development because I have this huge heart for women, always have, always will. And I was like, hey, I want to work overseas, and I want to like help people, help women be able to like read and be educated and help their kids be educated, and women's rights and like trafficking was super like I was so passionate about human trafficking and sex trafficking, especially then. Still am, but it was like a huge passion of mine then. And but then like the reality set in when I graduated is like organizations don't hire families who have never worked in the field before. So I talked to my mentor there, my professor, and she's like, Chess, just use like your strengths that you already have. You've been in business for a long time. And business is a way that helps people take control of their lives, can take control of their financial futures and their independence and their security, and helps them express who they are. And I was like, oh, yeah, they do. And so I got a job at a nonprofit here in Calgary that like so my job was to teach people how to start businesses, teach women who are new immigrants to Canada how to start businesses in Canada. And I frickin' loved it. Like,
Oh yeah,
loved the
totally.
relationships, loved teaching the stuff, and like found out like, and I knew that a big part of the sexy side of business is marketing. And it's also the scariest side. So it's the sexiest side, but it's also the scariest side because a lot of people aren't comfortable in talking about themselves. And that's what marketing is. A lot of people are
Yeah,
scared
being
to reach
seen,
out to
sure.
others, to be seen, right? And I'm like, oh, that's my freaking strength. I don't have that fear. I don't have that fear of being seen. I don't know why. I've always just been that way. And so, yeah. So then, like in our mastermind, I know we always talk about like your strengths and like building more on your strengths. And I do with my clients as well. Like, we don't need to go into the drama of like your weaknesses and fix all the problems in your life. Like, let's build on the strength. And
Mhm.
so our coach was like my strength, it helps me realize that my strength is actually creating content. Like, it is not hard for me to write a single post every day. It is not hard for me to write 5 posts every day. Like, and I don't know why, you know, it's just a gift,
Yeah,
right?
it is your gift. And I would love for you to speak about you just in the spirit of what you said, you're like, let's not focus on problems, let's focus on the solutions. So because that is your gift and content, and because you market your business so well, number one, I would love for you to just tell us quickly, what it is that you do. You're a coach, but can you explain that to us? And then two, I would love for you to give us just like three quick tips about like content, how you write content so beautifully like you do without spending hours upon hours scrolling and trying to get inspired.
Okay, so I love working with people to being like very focused on doing the things that are going to move the needle in your business. Like strategy parts is my strength. You are fantastic at like the energetic stuff. I'm fantastic at the strategic part. So I have learned, because I'm like, there is no burning out allowed in my life anymore.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so I very intentionally structured my day very early on in, like, it was late 2019, early 2020, because my kids went out to play and it was a Sunday afternoon. And I was like, oh, I'll just finish this email funnel. I'll just finish this email sequence. And on my computer, I'll just finish up this like website. And all of a sudden, I missed an entire day with my kids. And it wasn't just one day, it was a lot. And I was
Sure.
like, this is not why I started my business. I started my business to like have freedom
Mhm.
and to have time freedom and to be for my family. So I came up with the 3-hour workday. And
Which
so
I'm
this,
so obsessed with, by the way. I'm like, when she started talking about this in our master, I'm like, okay, that's a turn on. Tell me more about that. Like 3 hour workday. Like, yes, please.
yes. So quick nutshell, 3-hour workday is like basically find time chunks throughout your day. If it works to like sit down, your kids are having a nap for 3 hours, or that school, preschool in the morning, school all day, whatever, just set apart 3 hours however you want to. And because there's three main essentials of business. One is like your back end stuff. Like, it's the unsexy. You got to have an offer. You got to do some background creating stuff of like, what am I selling? What am I going to price it at? Like, do I need a workbook? Do I need it? Like, how am I going to, do I need a Facebook page? Whatever. You got to do the back end admin stuff. And yeah, you got to do your bookkeeping sometimes. So like structuring, like, and this is an hour. I'm big on like, before it becomes a habit, setting a timer of like, I'm just going to sit down for an hour and I'm going to do some of this stuff that might not be like, oh, I woke up this morning to like create a workbook, but just do it for an hour. Secondly is the marketing. Like, oh, marketing. I just wrote a post on this morning. It's like, it is a must in your business, and to do it consistently. And most people don't like creating content and marketing about themselves because they don't know how to do it easily. So
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you right now the 1 hour breakdown of like marketing your business in 1 hour a day or less. So you're going to take 20 minutes and you're going to do a brain dump of like, what lights me up today? What do I stand for? What like pisses me off? What like really excites me? What do like, what's some great word of wisdom that I just read in a book that I want to experience, like write more on? Just do a brain dump. Just start writing things out, and you can save these ideas in your posts. You can wake up and you got a big download. You wake up at 3 a.m. and you got like this download. Just like write ideas in your posts. And then like in your most creative time of the day, for me, that's a morning. Some people might be in the evening. Some people might in the afternoon. Know what your creative time is in the day. And then take 20 minutes and write the post. Expand on that one idea. And so just write short and sweet, write a caption. That's called your caption part for your post. And then take 20 minutes, go make the graphic. You can use Canva, use even just a template. Do whatever is easiest for you. Just screenshot your notes and put it on the background. Like, do
And so
whatever
many people are
easiest.
doing that right now, right? Just like
Yeah,
screenshot your notes. Yeah.
because it's the message. It's not like necessarily the picture. Yeah, the
Mhm.
picture helps because it grabs people's attention. Or like take 20 minutes to do a reel. And 20 minutes to do a reel might be a very long time. So then it doesn't like, just do whatever's easiest, right? Like, just trust yourself that it's going to be fine. Maybe you don't edit. I don't edit anymore. It's just whatever happens, it happens. And so 20 minutes to write the caption, 20 minutes to do the graphic, and then 20 minutes of engaging. So I believe that engaging is like the biggest piece of marketing and the easiest, because it's like relationship building. And so when we talk about like 20 minutes a day, so maybe like then we break that out into 5-minute chunks where you're just responding to people's comments, like responding to people's posts, like not just scrolling, but like actually leaving a comment like that was really good. Or you can like forward that post to somebody like, so let's say I see your post, Jessica, and I'm like, I can leave a comment on it, which I would, but then I could also like use a little paper airplane and send it back to you and reply to you and then have a deeper conversation and say like, you know what, like this post really spoke to me because like I'm going through this right now and thank you for sharing, like so you don't have to feel like the whole world is seeing your
I've seen it.
vulnerability,
Oh yeah.
but
Like,
like you're just kind of connecting and that way now you're in that person's DMs
mhm.
and like just being curious. Like I say, like lead your engagement because I know my clients are like, I don't know how to engage with people. And I'm like, what would you do at a networking party or
Mhm.
any party? Like
Totally.
just be more cash. Like
Yeah.
social media is just a big freaking party. And we're
Right.
just gonna go talk to people today. Like I've done the cold DMing thing where I had to like message or friend 100 people a day and then message 80 people a day with just a copy and paste message. And it was like sucked my soul and was burning me out because it wasn't relationships. And I am relationships. Like connections mean something to
Mhm.
me and I want it to mean something to them. So like I'll encourage my clients to always like keep social and like you're at a party, like just relax and let it be effortless.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So, and I love just the breakdown of it, right? Like it's 20 minutes to write your post. It's 20 minutes to create the graphic. It's 20 minutes to do engagement. Like that's an hour and that's it. Like, and so often our brain tends to overcomplicate things, right? And when we can break it down,
Yeah.
there's three steps for this piece and they're 20 minutes each. Like set your timer, get to work, and time expands to fill with the time we allow, right? So like you want to create a piece of content. Okay, you have 60 minutes to do it and it looks like this. Like you're going to have time to do that. So I would invite you all listening and want this to activate you to do the work, right? Try this. Set your timer for 20 minutes, write your post. When your timer is off, create your graphic for 20 minutes. When that timer is up, do your engagement, right? Post it, do your engagement. Like this is a simple way. Let's start seeing it and embracing the effortlessness that's available to us in marketing.
Yeah. And like you said, like try it. And
Mhm.
so like I know my clients have found like if they've never used Canva before, they're like, I just wish it wouldn't take so long to use Canva. And it's like the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Totally, totally.
And honestly, like there are coaches out there with like hundreds of thousands of followers who literally just screenshot their notes and
Yep.
put it in and post on Instagram. Like
Mhm.
that is it. Like there is
Yep.
no graphics,
Yep.
So keep it as simple as possible until it becomes easy. And then
Yep.
maybe you take the next level of challenging, right? Like
Totally. Yep. Yep.
really.
Yep.
So I
Let it be
know
easy. Yep.
and let it be easy. So I know people are always like, what do you post? And so I'll give you my super fast process on like what to post. So I will always start with your end result. Stephen
Mhm.
Covey says start with your in mind. Like it's
Love.
not a new concept.
Yep.
And so like what do you want to help people with in general?
Yep.
And this usually becomes like more your Instagram bio and but like it just really helps you keep you on topic. And so okay, so if my program is to help people, what was unruly again? What's like the out what's a
Ditching the unwritten and written rules that you've been told in society and rewriting your own.
Okay, so there's the end result. I would write that at the top of a piece of paper. And just so my
Rewriting your
mind
own rules.
can visualize it, right? So
Oh,
I
okay.
can see
Okay.
this.
Okay.
And then I would ask, okay, what do they need to know? What do I need to teach them that will help to move that needle a
Mm,
little bit more into rewriting their own rules? What do
mm.
they need to know? And this is where your genius comes into play because this is why you're starting the whole damn program, right? So
No.
you do just a brainstorm. It's like, oh, what do they need to know? They need to know like what rules are. They need to know how society has conditioned them. They need to know like all these things. So you just start brain dumping these things. Just write them down, right? And then, okay, what do people need to kind of feel? Like, what is that energy that I want them to be in that moves the needle a little bit closer? So maybe they need to be more confident. Maybe they need, like, what is the feeling behind unruly? Like, what is the emotions? Like, what are some of the emotions that I want people to feel? And just like write those things down. And what do they need to be? So it's like know, be slash feel, do. And then it's like, hey, what does that client need to do? Just a little bit. That's going to help them move the needle towards that end result, just a little bit. And just write it all down. And like chances are this then becomes your whole freaking program. And but then all those things you wrote down are your posts. And so like if you
Love.
think of it, there's three of those categories: know, be, and do. That's three. And if you write down, let's say 10 under each, which I'm sure you can easily do when you just sit down and just do a brain dump, that's 30 posts right there.
Yeah, that's huge. I just while you were talking, I was like, okay, I just got two from what you were saying. I was like, okay, let's go. I'm into this, Chaz. I'm listening. You got me. Yeah. Okay. All right. No. Okay. So you can make your categories that way through a know, a be, a do section, which is technically like any program you'd be launching, right? Like you'd have like three of those. I call them like, thinking, feeling, like embodiment, right? Taking
Yeah.
action
Yeah.
within that. So then like, yeah. And then underneath there, what are you going to teach on? Right. Which is like what posts can become and like the modules of your program. And like, oh, this is really juicy. This is like simplifying it down big time.
Well, that's really where I got it from because I took a certification in adult ed and like breaking down online, like how to teach people online. And it was these exact same things. And I was
Love.
like, that just like that structure just really always stuck with me. And it really makes it easier because we like, and if we view our social media as like, and our posting as like, I'm creating things to help people,
Mhm,
like really just leading like this, everything that I do is here to help somebody else.
mhm,
And it's not posting so that they then join my program.
mhm.
Yeah, you do the occasional promotional post, like, right? Like do those. Don't be shy from promoting your actual program. But yeah, it's just like it just became so much easier to do that. And like when I work through clients, they're like, we'll have like a 90-minute call and all of a sudden they've got like 60 posts and they're like, where did that come from? It did not come from a content calendar. It did
Yeah,
not come from like prompts, daily
totally.
prompts. It just comes from your own genius,
Yeah.
and just tapping into that, like, I'm like totally rambling because I get very excited about this.
So good, Chaz. So good. I love this. And we could talk forever. But intentionally, you gave us a lot to think about. And I want all of you that are listening because Chaz is a genius. So if you are an online business owner, even if you're a brick and mortar business owner, and you want to tap into this genius, you want things to be easy and effortless. This is Chaz. This is what her and I share together, right? We believe it gets to be easy. The 3 hour workday, like, hello, yes, please, more, please. I want you to go check her out. I want you to follow her. I want you to see what she's all about. She gives and she gives and she gives. She is so heart led. She is so servant led. And she gave us some juicy tips today. Can you imagine what she's giving away on her social media? Can you imagine what she talks about her clients? Can you imagine working with her for 90 minutes and walking away with 60 pieces of content? Like, hell yes. So, Chaz, tell us what's going on in your world, where people can find you, and so they can experience more of your genius, your gift to the world.
Thank you so much. So my purpose of my social media is to help people. So ideally, if you cannot afford any single program under the sun with anybody, I want you to be able to go onto my Instagram and learn everything that you need to know. It's XO Chath Young, so CHASYOUNG, and that's on Instagram. And so I don't actively promote my 90-minute intensives. They just kind of come up. Like people will just reach out to me and it's like, oh, that's a great idea. So what I do in those 90-minute intensives, we have a call and then you can work with me in Voxer for like 2 weeks or for a month after that, where we just like keep flushing out ideas. We like get the content flowing and we get you just connected to your zone of genius. So you become your own wealth of like content and marketing. And
Mhm.
then, so that's the one thing. That's a 90-minute intensive. Then I have like a membership that I just started. I have two, but this one that I'm like super jazzed about is the magical marketing membership. And so I send you every single day marketing and content tips to make your life easier. And so You do as you do, as you want with them, but I'm going to send you a tip every freaking day, Monday to Friday. Let me just preface that. Monday to Friday. Maybe Saturdays if I'm feeling really juicy. But Monday, Fridays for sure. And then every Monday we have a Q&A day. So you can ask me anything you need to know about marketing, about content, about social media, whatever it is, about like your kids, your husband, I don't care. Whatever to make your life easier. We have that on Mondays and it's $22 a freaking month for a year. And that's just a no-brainer. Like, if you feel like you don't know how to market, then just join that. It's 22 freaking dollars. It's amazing. And I'm just like opening the doors again to my mastermind, and it's called Liberated. And it's like liberating yourself from your desk, liberating yourself from your computer, living your life, or liberating like yourself from like these societal conditionings on business and marketing and women's role in the world. And like it seems a little bit like unruly, just like a little bit different. But yeah, that's a mastermind that like I got one lady in there and I can't wait for more to be in there because it's not just marketing, because our whole lives get to be easier. And this is why we jive so much, because our whole lives get to be easier. My skill and my strength is in the strategic part of marketing and content and business. And that's just a strength. But it doesn't mean I haven't experienced anything else in life.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. Oh, so good. So good. Thank you so much, Chaz. This has been amazing. I loved all that. You gave us so much goodness. I'm gonna have to go back and listen, and I'm gonna have to write these 2 pieces of content that you gave to me on this podcast. So thank you. Thank you. I've so enjoyed having you on here, just like seeing you in your magic, in your mission, your passion, your purpose. And this is your gift to the world. So you guys, please go and follow Chaz at XO Chaz Young on Instagram and check her out and all of her goodness. Okay. You can also check out the show notes. We'll link you as well to her on Instagram. Okay. Thank you so much, Chaz.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
grateful
Love
for
you.
the
Love
time.
you.
Love you. Love you. Love
Bye.
you. All right.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. Catch you in the next episode.